Hello everyone. Welcome to Eduonix. My name is Akhil and I'll be the co-host for today's session. So guys, is am I audible loud and clear and is my screen visible? If you guys can confirm on the chat. Okay. Yes. Okay. I can see a couple of faces coming along. Okay, great. Thanks for your response, guys. So I would like to welcome you all to this lovely session on learn to build your own note-taking app using Angular and React. So this session will be taken up by Mr. Vasudev. So about Mr. Vasudev. So Vasudev is an expert software engineer by profession, currently working at India's largest healthcare platform, and he has built several path-breaking applications using the latest and trending technologies. So Vasudev loves to solve real-world problems and believes software is the fastest way to achieve it. And he has experience in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, SQL, MySQL, Bootstrap, Ajax, TypeScript, Node.js, GraphQL, and guys, this list is very long. So, and he will be helping us with our today's session. So guys, before we move ahead, I would like to inform like a couple of things. So first thing, the recording of this session, the PPT or the code files which our trainer will be using in class. So this all thing will be available in your Eduonix dashboard by Monday end of the day. All right, so don't worry if you miss out on something or you miss out on some codes during the session. So everything will be available to you on your Eduonix dashboard by Monday EOD. All right, and also I would like to inform that we are live on a YouTube channel. And regarding the queries, so in case you have any questions or doubts during this session, so please like park it in the chat section, and we have kept the chat section open for all of you. So like the trainer will be addressing as much as the all the queries towards the end of the session. So we'll be having a dedicated Q&A at the end of the session. Okay, so like you can, if you have any questions, you can like put it on the chat, and our trainer will try to address them as much as possible. And also, so we have planned some cool offers during this session. So to avail those offers, so you will have to stick to the end of the session. So we will be revealing the exciting offers towards the end of the session. All right. So yeah, so without taking much time, I would like to hand over the session to our trainer, Mr. Vasudev. So Vasudev, are you there with us?
Yes, Akhil, yes. Thanks, Akhil. Thanks for the quick introduction.
Yeah, thanks Vasudev for joining with us. So I'll just mute myself and stop this screen share, and then you can take it ahead from there.
Exactly, yeah. Hey, guys. So welcome to the session. So this session is one of the, especially it's one of the thing which excites me always, like Angular versus React. Like many of you might have already a lot of questions or anything in regarding like what is better, Angular or React, what to choose. So I definitely say that yes, we have to choose based on how critical they are, how much options they are available in the market, and what is the learning curve of them. And I'll show the correct path. Maybe I'll try myself best to show and the best possible way to understand both of this and take a better decision. What I feel is knowing both the technologies, at least at the basic level, right? If you cannot know Angular and you just decide that React is best, then definitely there would 100 people will be pointing at you, right? The same way, this session is going to we are going to build the same application in both Angular and React, once in Angular and once in React. And you yourself in front of your eyes can compare what is best to you and what fits right in you. You can actually grasp the decision and you can finally take it on yourself. Okay. So without wasting much of time, let's see. So let's build the same application. It's going to look and feel the same. The actions is going to same. So then what is easy for you and what, so I would definitely say in India, React is performing way better than Angular, but I don't say Angular has less options. With Angular also, you do have good options. But again, like some people are coming from different backgrounds. Some people find something interesting. Hence, these two are still, pertaining in the market, right? So let's check it out. What's difference in them exactly? And let's do that not in a theoretical way. Let's do it in a practical. Okay. So without wasting much of time, let's start. And can I know from which all parts you are from? That would be interesting, right? So where are you from? And am I audible clearly? And my screen is visible. And I just want to see from which places we all are from. Great, great, great. Yeah. Cool. Yes, guys. So let's start. I think this should help your decision in further process or what to choose. Is it Angular or React? And let's see what is my opinion at the end. Okay. So let's start the same way. Let's start both the applications. Let's start the basic applications in both of the apps. Okay. So how do you do? So this is Angular part. I'm building. So in this terminal, I'll be starting the Angular and this will be React. Okay. So here it will be ng how to start a new Angular app. Create a new Angular app. Ng new Angular note taking application. Okay. So I entered this. So it is asking me a bunch of questions. What CSS framework you're going to use? Screen not visible. Okay. Yes. Is it visible now? Sorry, guys. I think some network issues. Yes. Great, guys. Great. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah. So it is asking me a bunch of questions. And yes, now it is started. And the same way, let's also start React application. So this will be done by npx create React app note take. This will be something like this React note taking application. Okay. Yeah. So I have started both the applications. Now let's see. So it actually depends on, we cannot say if this is going to build fast, then it is Angular is better. No, it depends on the internet and many things ahead. So let's wait. And the kind of application which we are going to replicate is, again, it's not very complex application. We'll build a simple note-taking app and we'll understand how to add a new component, how to pass data between component, how to change the UI element. That's it, right? So here the main goal is build one same application, and how much amount of code you're writing in Angular and how much amount of code you're writing in React, how much complexity the code in Angular is and how much complexity the code in React.js is, and how bigger your application code size grows, like as the application grows bigger, how many number of files you have, because that is also matters, because when an error comes up, you have to look at 100 files if the code is very complex, very huge. But in case of if you are having only 10 files, then it is a lot easier, right? So assuming that way, there are many criteria points where we can compare both of these. I would definitely say, as a beginner or someone who is looking to start in JavaScript ecosystem, they should consider the learning curve path, because I personally believe Angular has a long learning curve. Okay, so let's prove it. Like I'll show you how different both of these are, right? So it's taking some time. It's because it's going to install a hell lot of npm packages, guys. So yes, I want to code with you. Okay, it's gonna be difficult. So guys, this recording will be available to you afterwards, so don't worry. Everything is going to be shared with you, so you can handle it well later on as well. Okay, what is happening? Installing npm. It is stuck. Is the screen is stuck here itself, or let's see. It's saying npm installing the npm modules. So it's going to install all the dependencies needed for Angular and as well as React.js, right? So I think something has stuck with the React.js. Let's start again. npx create React.js. So yeah. So guys, this is the command to start React.js application. I mean, to create the basic directory of the React.js, and ng new Angular app is the command to create Angular application. So here they are, when I ran this command, they are installing the required dependencies. Let's wait for the dependencies to complete. Once they are complete, we'll get started with it. Meanwhile, we can actually start coding as well, right? So yes, let's open my VS Code. In this, yes, Angular is almost all ready. It is going to install the dependencies in the backend. So let's start. Okay, guys. So this is the basic directory structure of Angular. So Angular note taking app. These are the different config files. Since Angular is written in TypeScript, guys, it is a mandatory that Angular should be written in TypeScript. There is no other way. Whereas in React.js, you can write your application in JavaScript as well as TypeScript. So whichever is comfortable language to you, you can choose it. So the first thing in Angular where I feel a problematic is it is pushing something on your brain to learn TypeScript before entering. Okay. So, and here the main files about any of the web page or any of the component you are building is, so it will have 4 different files, guys. One is component.ts, other is module.ts, other is .html file, and the other is .css file, and the last thing is routing module. Okay, so Angular is a framework, guys, and whereas React.js is a library. So when I say framework and library, framework is nothing but collection of libraries. You got it right. So framework is a collection of libraries, whereas library is the smallest part. Like it can be a UI library, it can be a database, I mean model library, it can be a control library. So React goes only with the UI, it just takes care of the UI changes, whereas Angular, it deals with everything. So it is a complete framework, guys. Okay, so hence there are a lot of rules which have imposed on you, and you should definitely follow them. So you should write the syntax in the same way, and you have to follow the directory structure, file naming structure. Everything is restricted to you. Otherwise, the framework is not going to let you pass, right? So let's see, where are we at the installing dependencies part? Okay. So, oh, this is different one. Okay, so let me stop and start again. npm install. So npm install command, I got it. Okay. Up to date. Yeah, let me see. cd right. So there is some problem. It's okay. They'll be getting installed in the backend direction, and we can continue with the coding part. Right. So npm install. Yeah. I think now they are moving a bit fast. The same way we'll do this also, npx create React app. Yes, now it is functioning. I think some proxy issues, sometimes it happens with the internet, right? So without wasting much time, let's start. So here I'm saying we need a HTML file, we need a CSS file, we need a module.ts file. Here you will be importing all the ng modules like router and so how to control your routing part. And secondly, component part, here you will define all the data which is needed for your application and the forms which are required for your application. And this app module is something like all the generic modules in the entire component. the entire your application that you are using. So it can be a browser module, it can be a routing module, still like routing module. You have to install it at a generic level. And this is at a component level, app routing. So app is one component and app routing module is just specific to that. Whereas app module is generic to your entire application. You got it, right? So they are getting installed now. Cool. So yes, so we'll first start with the HTML part. NPX. NPX is nothing but it's a NPI command tool which installs the applications remotely from the NPM registry. So you don't have to install every application always in your system, but using NPX command, you can get those libraries from the remote in a real time situation. So I'm not installing all the modules in my system right away. I'm just depending whenever I'm needed. So now this create React app will be contacted from the internet and then we install it. Right. So let's wait. These are getting installed now. Once they are installed, I'll show you how the basic application is going to look like. Why is it taking so much time? Yeah, it's catch up. It caught up now. So meanwhile, I think React.js application is also ready. Yes. So React.js application is also ready. It is still taking some time to load it. I don't know if the NPM server is down, NPM registry is down. Yeah, I think an Angular app is ready, guys. Let's see. Let's see about the Angular app, right? So how to start an Angular app? ng serve open. So by running this command inside the directory of Angular application, you will be able to start the Angular project, right? So it's again asking some bunch of questions. Now it is going to build the project entirely. It's going to generate a bundle.js. Okay. Yes, compile successfully. And now, yes. So this is my basic Angular application, which is present. So this is running on a localhost 4200 port. Okay. So if you see all the contents in my HTML will be present over there, right? So see CLA documentation, learn Angular. So whatever is present in the HTML, that will be reflected over here, right? Now let's start creating our first application by copy pasting this code. Okay, so we are building a note taking app, right? So this will be entirely gone, and now it's going to be this. Okay, so instead of putting it in this way, I'll wrap it inside a div. Okay, and I'm gonna name it this one. I'll put it in a class. So this is how you write your Angular HTML code. So I have to change a couple of things over here. I'll do that for you, but closely observe how is it different from a normal HTML and the Angular HTML, right? Definitely it will have some changes, right? So let's see that. Let's see what is the difference when compared to that. Okay, so we need CSS file as well. Now if you have a look at this thing, we got a basic looking to-do list. We still need to add the CSS. So let me add the CSS for you guys. All right, so I'll add the CSS. So CSS is also pretty straightforward. You paste it, so all the CSS things are done. Now it should be automatically reloaded, right? So let's reduce the margin of the header to look something in a decent fashion. Okay, so see, what we are doing is we have copy pasted the HTML. So it's like, think of this as converting your normal HTML, CSS application to React.js application. Okay, so React or Angular, right? Now what we need HTML and we need CSS. So we are converting a normal HTML, CSS application into Angular and React. So this is a HTML, CSS application, which I'm taking it from here. So now we'll convert this in the same fashion into both React and Angular. First, we are going with Angular. Okay, so I have added CSS and I have added HTML. And now the other thing which I have to check is my inline styling. So how to give inline styling, right? So let me reduce the margin of H2. Okay, so this is just to show how will I give my inline styling in Angular, which we always used to give in HTML, right? So 5px. So my this is reduced now. So now it would look something like this. Yes, so this is okay. This is decent enough. Now let's make more changes so that this application is going to look dynamic. I mean, we can add and remove the data, right? So we'll name it to note-taking application. So please have a close look, guys. What exactly are we changing? Okay, so how are we manipulating the data and everything? Okay, so you cannot directly add an input field in Angular, guys. This is one of the biggest problem. Adding a one input file is not possible in Angular directly. What you have to do is you have to import the Angular form module. And for that, we need to go. So it is at the application level. So you will be importing Angular form module. That is like this, forms module and reactive. So these are the inbuilt modules which are needed. Even for adding a single input field. So here the input field is where we can type the to-do, the note-taking value, right? This is the one. So this is the one. So even for this, we need to add a big form. But in React, I'll show you it's going to be very simple. So first, let's see. So I'm importing the forms module and React forms module. Now I have to supply it here. Okay. So reactive forms module, right? Now how to add a form? Okay. So for that, you need to go into component. Okay. So in the component, what you will do is you will again import the form builder. So here you need to import the form builder. Please hold on, guys. You might be saying, hey, what is this? Everything happening. Here we are comparing both Angular and React. So just compare, just have a look at how Angular is built. I mean, how many steps you have to write just for implementing a small note-taking application. Okay, so here I'm taking a private value, that is form builder. Okay, right, and yes, then I'm taking a variable note form. So I'm naming it as note form, and this is going to be this dot form builder dot. So basically you have to create a new form builder group. It means this form builder group can have HTML, I mean, input fields, out checkboxes, radio buttons, etc. Okay, so here in our place, we just want one input field, that is note, right? And what would happen when I click on the submit button, right? Here our submit button is add. So this is our add button. So let's do that. Void and on submit, this dot notes. So we need to store all of our nodes, right? So for that, we'll be defining one nodes string array. So this is a string array, right? So here we need two properties. One is for the form, and the second is storing all the nodes in an array, right? So this is a string array. Okay, so when somebody clicks on the submit button, what we have to do is we have to append new row, append a new node into the existing node. So this dot nodes will be all the existing nodes plus my new node, that is going to be this dot node form. So the value which is entered in the node field, right? So value whichever is entered in the node field. And once I click on the submit button, later I would be clearing the form, that is reset. So with this, my action is ready. I'm taking two values, nodes, and the second value node form. Here, whenever the submit button is clicked, I'll be adding a new node and then I'm resetting the form. All right. Now let's modify our HTML. So this input field is no longer valid. So we need to create a form. We need to create a form, right? Form with one button and the input field, right? So I'm deleting this and I'm adding a form. Okay, so this form will contain the form group attribute which takes the value node form. This node form signifies this one. So this node form should be equal to this form. So what form group builder it is mapped inside the component. That is what it is explaining. Okay, and ng submit. So ng submit means what should happen on when somebody clicks on the button submit. So here it is very clear. This form's data is going to be stored in the np and node form. So this is the node form, and this node form has only one input, that is this input, and I am naming that form control name as node, the same as the one which is present here. So if I name it etc. So if I name it something else, something, then I'm going to refer it as the same way. So form control label will be something. So that value will be stored in there. You got it? Now, yeah. So this is also not needed for us. So this is our final form builder. Okay. So here it is pretty simple. We have a header component, header, and then we have a form group. The form group contains one input field and one button. So whatever we are entering on the input field and clicking on the submit button, that data should be stored in the nodes, right? And we have to display the same data in the list form, right? So let's do that. So here it is nothing but we need to loop the array. So we need to loop this nodes array so that all the elements will be present, right? So how to write that? For that, we need to use ng for directive, which is like a for loop in AngularJS. So let node of nodes, okay, and this is the syntax, and let I equal to index. So again, I don't like Angular at this point because even for writing a new loop, you have to learn new syntax. Why do I need to do that? So in React, you definitely don't have to do this. You can use the same for loops which you have been using from the long time. Okay. So yes. So now by saying this, what will happen is this ng for is going to loop through this nodes array and it's going to print all the data. Okay. So how to do that? It's very simple, guys. What you got to do is, so you add double flower brackets. So this is how you parse a note. So this is how you read a variable. So this note is a variable, right? And now your application should be ready. So it now contains 0 elements because we haven't added any note. Now if I start, this is my first note in Angular, right? Yes. So now it is functioning. So let me make it something clean. Like I'll add the index part as well. Okay. So index is stored in the I, right? So let me do since array starts from 0, I'll do I plus 1, and also I'll make it a bit cleaner to look. So yes, now if you see, yeah, so this is my first node. So what is happening is when I clicked on the submit button, this ng submit thing is called, on submit function is called, and we are changing the data. This not nodes at the starting, this not nodes has nothing. It means this dot 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 will do nothing. This is a spread operator which spreads across the array, and this dot node form dot value dot node. So whatever value is present inside the input field will be added to this array, and after that we are resetting it. So now the form will be cleared. Okay, so guys, I know you are having a lot of questions. We'll answer all of the questions, but yes, so for building such a small application, you need to do a hell lot of things in Angular, right? Now let's do the same thing. Now let's do the same thing in React. Okay, and see how, and we compare how these two are good, like which one is good. You can take your decision. Okay, so let me do that. Clear. And how to start a React application? Again, simple, npm start. So you click on npm start, and your application is starting, right? It is started on your localhost 3000 port. Okay, so yes, it started. Now my React.js application is started. So if you see, my React.js application is also almost all having the same kind of directory structure, but here everything is in JavaScript. So I'm not going to learn any new language or any TypeScript. I can use my own existing JavaScript. And also there is no HTML. You can write your JavaScript inside the you can write your HTML inside the JavaScript. That is the best part of React. So HTML is itself a templating language which makes the application slow. Angular, the reason Angular is a bit of slow is because Angular is still dependent on the HTML. And see how many number of files you need, right? And the same thing in React.js can be achieved in just one file or maybe two files, including the CSS, right? So let's do the same thing again here as well. So let me copy the HTML for you, right? So here, instead of this HTML, so it is here, everything is in functions. So see how clean the code is. You're not doing any decorators, any ng module, anything. It is a simple JavaScript. Okay, and the same code which we have copied previously, we'll copy that, right? And even here we'll wrap it inside a main div. Okay, so I'll say this as class. So here we can't name it a class. Instead we use class name equal to main. So you cannot use class because class is a reserved thing in React.js. So class is a reserved keyword. You are getting my point, right? So yes, and now rest all things are clear. And one main difference is how to give an inline styling. So how to give an inline styling, here it is this way, right? Here you have directly provided it this way. Now we do it in a different way here. So I'll change this to note-taking application. Okay, and my style is going to be, so the way I give my inline styling is style equal to, it's an object, guys. Again, the beauty of this is it can be a dynamic JavaScript object. It's not a string anymore, right? And yes, so this is how I give my inline styling here. It is an object. So this object can be stored anywhere as a plain JavaScript object, right? And you can, the very best part is you can directly use the input field. Unlike Angular, where you have to import forms module, you have to supply it in app module. Nothing else is needed here. You want to use input field, you can use it pretty straightforward, right? Now, how to, so we had a component file where we are binding the data in two different files, right? Here, just don't do that. You just need, in the same file itself, you will take a new variable using the React hooks, okay? Nodes and set nodes, okay? And I'll be using the React hook use state, okay? So I'll be importing the use state from React library, okay? So use state is a hook, which means we can use the state, we can store the data in the component by using this function, okay? So use state, this nodes is an array, the same way as the other one. So since this is not TypeScript, you can store literally anything. So that is the flexibility it has, the React.js. And we have stored another variable that is note, right? Where we store the input field value. So note equal to use state, and this note is an empty string, right guys? So that's it. So you don't have to import anything. You don't have to declare a variable. You don't have to declare a form group. You don't have to do anything. Okay. So now how do you bind this? How do you bind this value to the input field? So how to do that? Simple. Value equal to bracket note. That's it. Now, whatever this input value is going to change, whatever we are going to enter into this input field, it will be automatically stored in this value, right? And when the change happens, so when there is a change, when there's someone is typing, we need to update it, right? We need to update it. So how to do that? So this is the pretty simple JavaScript on change event handler. So you simply do on change. So this is not React.js. It is plain JavaScript. On change is the event handler. Whenever something changes in your DOM, that gets fired. And how to do that? On change equal to set node. So whenever there is a change, whenever somebody is typing in that input field, detect the change and using the event object. So this is the event object e dot target dot value. So now whenever somebody is changing, so let's say if I'm not adding this, what will happen? I'll show you. Okay. So I'll show you everything. And yes, so here everything is camel cased, guys. So in case of on click, it is not, it will be like this. So the syntax is simple. It is a camel case function. And when I click on the submit button, what should happen, right? It should add a new node. So again, it is going to be very simple. You will add the same, you will write the same function in the same file itself, right? Add new node. And if node is not empty, then set nodes the same way. Dot 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 nodes. It means give me all the previous nodes and add the new node, right? And then change the current node value to empty again. So if you don't clear it, it will be present in the input field the same way, right? So it is very simple. You call this function when the button is clicked, that is add. So how to call that? On click. So if you observe here, whenever we are writing JavaScript inside HTML, you're just opening and closing the bracket. That's it. You're not moving here and there. You're not changing the extensions. You're not remembering any syntax. All. So Angular has its own syntax. That is the biggest problem with it. So add new node. So now what will happen is whenever on click, whenever this button is clicked, on click, this function will be executed, right? And always the current value inside the input will be stored inside this node. So whenever add new node is clicked, it checks. If this is not empty, then it will add, right? Now see, now the other beauty of it, you don't have to learn any new for loop, right? In case of Angular, you learned a new for loop called ng for directive. But here it is going to be very simple. Nodes dot the normal JavaScript map function, right? So map our nodes, node comma index, right? And this is the arrow function. And what to return? A list element. So what am I looping through? A list element, right? And what to present inside this list element? The same way. So whenever I am writing JavaScript inside HTML, I'm opening brackets, right? So index plus 1, okay, and node. That's it. So my entire note taking application is ready now. See, the amount of code which I have written, is pretty simple, pretty small. I mean, I didn't add the CSS yet. I'll add it, the same CSS of Angular. Okay, so that's it. So the amount of code which I have actually written is only this much. And in case of Angular, see, for a working code, you have written this many things. Though I haven't written, this many things are needed. See, app component and etc. Let's see how this React application is going to look now. Okay, so this is a React application and this is a Angular application. Okay, so both are looking much similar. Now let me add, this is my first node in React. That's it. So both the functionalities are same. This is my first node in Angular. That's it, guys. See, now let's compare. Okay, so now I'll be open for any kind of questions. Okay, so yeah, so now guys, from now onwards, you can ask any number of questions. I'll answer all of the questions peacefully. And before that, I actually want to reveal one offer to you. So this offer is only to the people who have attended this session and not for everyone. And yes, so we are starting with the MERN Stack batch 2, guys, from this weekend onwards. So it's a MERN Stack e-degree program where you'll be going through all the training of 40 hours. It is a time bound skill development program. Unlike other any of the courses, we don't say we'll complete the entire course in 1 week or one month. No, we give time. There will be a 24 hours mentor in support to you. You can completely, after completing this MERN Stack batch 2, you will get the e-degree in your resume, so you can add it and you can easily crack a job, because having an e-degree on your resume creates a great value. Unlike you're just saying I am a MERN Stack developer. And this is a 22-day live session, and it's a limited seat session, guys. Okay, so and this other important thing is, after every module, you will be given a presentation, you will be given a project where you will be working on the project and mentor will be guiding you. And if you have any problems or you're stuck with anywhere, the mentor will be available to you 24/7. You can ask all the doubts to him. And on the weekend sessions, when you have any questions, you can talk to the trainer. That's me. We have 2 trainers, right? We are going to build many real world applications like Instagram, double click application. We design a Mongo schema, we design Mongo library, etc. So it's really we're going to build many applications in the entire 22-day live session. So it's going to be very practical, and it is the course curriculum is taken care of all the important modules which are needed of. And the libraries which we are using is also not an older libraries. We are using Material UI, we are using React Router, all the things which are currently being used in this market, right? So MERN batch 1 was a great success from Eduonix. People have learned a lot of things and it was a very huge success. So going forward with the MERN batch 2, so see, the things which we are going to learn in this, it will be starting from HTML and CSS. Unlike, we are not keeping any of the prerequisites. It is HTML and CSS, JavaScript, React.js, React hooks. We are going to use Material UI, and it's also going to cover Redux, front-end app development. So we'll build the complete application in front-end, and then we'll start with the backend, Node.js, Express, REST API server. Then we go with MongoDB. Then we also learn about Mongoose adapter. Okay. Yeah, and then we deploy the app. It's not just building the application. We also learn how to deploy your application. And we also learn some of the tools like Robo 3T, how to use those tools in your offices. So we are not just giving you some theoretical knowledge, right? So the applications which we are going to build is an Instagram double click action, reminder application, COVID vaccination slot booking system. So this pandemic has great impact, right? Counter application, file reader, CRUD application. So all these applications will be built by you. So we teach the concepts, we give you as an assignment, you practice it. If you are stuck somewhere, the mentor will be guiding you. And yes, and you have any theoretical doubts, again, you can discuss with the trainers in on the weekends, right? So all these projects are taught in a very well fashioned way, and it will brush up all your skills, all the theoretical knowledge which you have, right? So yes, so we are going to reveal the offer. So usually we sell it at $150. So but the one who are attending this webinar, mainly they can use this coupon code. Akhil is pasting all of the links how to achieve this offer and how to enroll into this batch. Please look at the chat section. We have pasted the links for you. So it's an exclusive offer, guys. It's usually we sell it at $150. Here we are going to give you at just $99, and this offer is going to be valid only for 24 hours. And also, if you have any doubts in this, so all the recordings will be available to you, and the trainer will be available to you. You will be given all the assignments, all the multiple choice questions. You will be assessed continuously, and based on your performance, your e-degree will be evaluated. All the things. So it's not a theoretical application. It's a complete practical knowledge in complete 22 days. It's a 3-month program. So it's on weekends. It's a 3-month program. You will be a confident MERN Stack developer and getting a huge hikes, like maybe you're shifting your roles or you're a fresher or no matter what. It starts from the very basics. We cover all the concepts. So yes, guys, please utilize this opportunity where you're getting a huge offer, and please enroll into the session. Please enroll into the course. Okay. And we'll be sharing the feedback form with you guys. And before that, I'm open for the questions. Please ask any of questions you have. I'll be addressing them all. So yes, I'm open for questions, guys. And you can ask literally any questions. Okay, starting procedure is nothing. We started both of the applications using the basic commands, ng new Angular note taking app, and this will give us the basic Angular application. And then we have started the React application in the same way, npx create React app, and this is the project name which we are going to build. And that's it. After this are done, you will start the application using ng-serve open, and the same way you will start the React application using npm start. Okay, so use state is a hook. Use state is a hook where it binds the state, it binds the value to the application, right? So yes, and I get that Syed Sarah says that, sir, you're too fast. Yes, we are going to build 2 applications in 1 hour. So I had to show you the difference in the performance of both. So considering that, I had to move it fast. Otherwise, we are not going to build anything, and I cannot show you how Angular and React is different. What is the difference between e-degree from live training and the offline course in Eduonix? So offline course is something you are hearing a recording sessions, right? But in e-degree program, you will have the mentor with you. If you have any doubts, if you have anything struck, you will be guided and you'll be assessed continuously based on your performance, and you'll be given the e-degree. And that e-degree, when you put on the resume, then somebody will recognize, okay, he has been assessed and he has been given a degree. It's like your college degree, e-degree, right? And is the e-degree accredited, yes, it will definitely have the value on your resume. You cannot directly say Eduonix has its own recognition, right? That's how MERN batch won and the people were successful. So yes, any offline recording courses and the live training, this is the benefit. So in the live training, you get to interact with the trainer, you get to interact with the mentor, right? So React hook is nothing but it is a function where you can bind a data to the component. So you are declaring a value, right? You are declaring some variable. And how do you bind that variable into the component, into the HTML component? So use state hook does that. Use state hook binds the variable to the React component. Yes, we'll be sharing the source code for both Angular and React. They will be available on our dashboard by Monday. How much fast is the same API in React versus Angular? So let's see which is faster at this moment. So let me start both at the same time. Okay, maybe a small difference would be there. So npm start, and I'll just type both of these. Enter, enter. So let's see which React got started first. Okay, so Angular started now. So this is the difference between their performance also. So React is a lot faster because obviously in React, the number of lines of code which you have written is very, very, very less, right? It's like 10%. And imagine you are building an entire Facebook kind of application where you are building that big application. Means how many number of files do you have? So that's why Angular has a big learning curve. You need to follow a lot of rules, etc. Right? Yes. You will be getting the source code on the Eduonix dashboard. Akhil will be helping you with that. Yes, guys. Any more questions? Yes. So if you have any questions, I'm still open for questions, guys. Otherwise, please fill the feedback form before leaving. That will help us where to improve, right? So here in just 30 minutes, we built two applications in two biggest frameworks, that is Angular and React, right? So that way we compared both what is Angular and what is React. Okay. So instructor avoiding use state. That's what I'm saying. Use state is a React hook which binds the data to the component. So in normal scenarios, you can directly declare a variable. You can do that directly this, some variable. Okay. But how can my HTML content can use that variable? It is not directly possible, right? Because this is JavaScript. So for that to achieve, behind the scenes, React.js has given us a function that is use state. This use state is going to help us bind the data to the component. So whenever there is a data change in any of these values, the HTML content will be changed with that. Okay. So yes, guys. Any more questions? Hence, I understand you'll be having a lot of questions on React.js because React is itself a big library as well. When compared to Angular, it might be slow. So what I suggest is let's learn React from the MERN Stack batch 2, right? So you will understand all the concepts clearly, and you will be also given interview guidance, how to attend in an interview and how to clear your interviews. what kind of questions will be answered and how the concepts needs to be pressed up. Okay, so please enroll, get the offer today, and you also get the Python mini e-degree free for with that. And at the same time, please fill the form. Please fill the feedback form. So yes, guys, and Eduonix has Angular courses. Yes, we do have Angular courses. It doesn't mean Angular React is going to be take over completely. Some people from Java background, they feel Angular as easy because it looks much similar to a Java programming language, right? So people who are from Java background, they are used to this kind of syntax. For them, this will be very difficult to understand the JavaScript part because they declare class, they declare constructor and everything. So it's your choice. If you're starting fresh, then I would suggest go with the React. If you're already from the Java background, then Angular would be on a good plate on your plate. Okay. Yes, guys. Please share your feedback before leaving and enroll into the offer and get enroll into the MERN Stack batch 2 and learn with me. There we are going to discuss everything in detail. Okay. Yes. So use state. So here we are saying that the default value of nodes will be an empty array. Okay. And the default value of node will be an empty string. I mentioned this before. So again, I'm repeating. So the default value of this nodes will be this, and the default value of node is going to be an empty string. So empty string is for node, empty array is for the nodes. Okay. Yeah. Yes, guys, more questions, or please share your feedback. It will help us to improve. And then and get the offer using the coupon code, enroll into the batch 2 and learn with me. Yes, session is done, guys. We built 2 applications, one in React and one is Angular. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope at least you compared what is what, the both React and Angular. Now your decision could be helpful. Well, you can take the better decisions based on your standards and everything. All the things will be shared with you. How to configure React and Angular? So you don't have to do anything necessarily. So you just need to install npm install here. So you just need to install Angular CLI, npm install -g Angular CLI, right? will install all the Angular details, and the same way you will install npm install create React app. That's it. So both of these will get you all the React.js and AngularJS library, and you can use them. Yes, you will get all the recordings correct. Angular supports inline styling and JS. I'm not saying Angular doesn't support. It's a lot difficult. Thank you. Thank you all. Hope you have learned and compared. And now this should be easy in deciding what is best. And I have also showed how complex the both is. The amount of code, the amount of time taken for me to develop an Angular application and a React application, right? So you will be getting the recordings by Monday. My boss wants us to use Angular. Show him this recording. He should be able to convince with showing this recording. The options. So what I am saying is the options for Angular in future, they are going to decrease. I mean, the opportunities in the market, they are definitely going to decrease because it's going to be turned out as a very complex application where it can be very simple. Right? So that's what you have to decide. What am I going to do? Thanks a lot, guys. I don't have any YouTube channel, guys. You can subscribe to Eduonix. I'm a dedicated trainer at Eduonix. Okay, guys, then we can conclude the session. Hope you have enrolled in our batch, and let's catch up in our weekend sessions. There we are going to learn everything in detail, right? So the future will be React.js, guys. Definitely agree with me because the amount of code which we have written and everything, and it fits very well with the React Node ecosystem also. So you're not going to learn a new language called TypeScript. Okay. So you have seen everything in front of your eyes. That gives you an answer, right? Bye-bye, guys. Ending the session right now. Let's meet soon. Take care.